Okay, this is going to be a brief review of the ManyEyes tool published by IBM. It's a data visualization tool. It's free and it allows you to do some nice stuff. It's somewhat experimental, so it doesn't allow you to do many of the nice things you'd like to, but I think it's a good start and probably an indication of the sort of data visualization tools that are going to become available over the next few years. If you don't know where it is, just search for ManyEyes and it will be the first thing that appears. When you link through, you'll come to a website like this. Now I've logged in. If you want to, I've logged in using my alternate nom de plume. If you want to upload data sets and manipulate them and create visualizations, you do need to set up an account. It's painless, so do so. Okay, so when you set up, there's a number of options will appear. There's a heading, a menu here called Explore, which down at the bottom has a thing called My Stuff, which is where my databases and visualizations are stored. In Participate, you can upload a data set and create a visualization. We'll have a look at that in a minute, but first we'll have a look at My Stuff. Right, so it's there's things like topics and there's a watch list, which I haven't really done anything with. At the moment I've just sort of uploaded a number of data sets and created some data visualizations, some of which some of you have seen in lectures. So for example, there's a data set there of health expenditure per capita, both public and private in the European Union. I've just basically pasted that in and I'll show you how to do it in a bit. It's taken from OEC health data, and these numbers are effectively euros, they're adjusted euros. Okay, so if we go back a page, that's the data, and I've created a couple of data visualizations from this. This one is showing a scatter graph, which is sort of interesting, but a little bit sort of kludgy to use. If you click on that, you'll see it's giving you some information from Switzerland, telling you the total, and there's Norway as well, and down the bottom we've got Turkey and Bulgaria and Romania. That'd be good if you knew your data set well and you were doing a visual presentation and you wanted to take people through it. That'd be quite useful. Another thing I've done was the enigmatically named tree plot. Nobody really knows why these things are called tree plots. You know, you say it took a little while to load this. Now, one thing you do have to have on your computer is Java installed. This is relatively painless. If you're not sure what to do, there's plenty of advice available online. If it's a laptop, just bring it in, and I'm sure the ICT staff will help you do this. So this is quite good. It's sort of lumped all the EU health expenditure together. And again, if you click on Romania, you'll see it's got some information there. Turkey's got some more information there. This is just looking at private, I think. We can change that to the total. So if we look at total, change it slightly. Bit of an overlap there, similarly with some of these. So there's a total for Romania, 687. Norway up here, 4,294 euros. And where's the United Kingdom? Can't even see the United Kingdom. Is the United Kingdom gone? Oh, there it is up there. So 2,686 at the moment, about half of what Norway spends. Okay, so going back to My Stuff again. One of the great things you can do about this is adjust data as you talk about it, so it's quite dynamic. I showed this to a class this morning. This is social income by social class. I've done it as a bar chart. We have a number of categories down here: professional, management, technical, semi-skilled, manual, all the way down to unskilled. A number of categories here: employed, state pension, work pension, child benefits, other benefits, interest from investments, and other regular income. You'll notice these are quite small. This is one of the issues which there are with this website. You can't really adjust any of these parameters, so you got to be a little bit careful. If you're going to project them on the screen, make sure people can read them or be prepared to explain them. I say it's good for explaining dynamic things. So if we look at, for example, child benefit and other benefits, these two categories here. Professional, a relatively small category, but by the time we move down through the categories down to semi-skilled, we'll see that child benefit and other benefits are a very big component. So it's a good way of showing how data changes, in this case across different categories. Obviously you need to be able to explain the data. Right, so we've got the My Stuff, and what we'll do now is we'll upload some data, and for this I need to go to upload a data set. Right, there's some clear information about how to do it, and there's also stuff in the help file as well. So what we're going to do is basically find some data and paste it in here. So I've got an Excel spreadsheet open here already. So we've got some information on compounds in tea. I've got green and black tea, and the number of different flavonols, a number of different hydroxybenzoic acids and hydroxycinnamic acids. I also drew them as that's another story, using little leaves, but we're not talking about that now. Now, the thing to notice about this is that each column has a heading, each row has a heading. You do need that. You do need a well-behaved table, as I've talked about in lectures to various people. Okay, so we're going to select that. So Control C, go back to ManyEyes and paste this in. Right, so now we paste it in, the system will check that it's understood it. So it looks quite nice. It's in nice rows and headings, and it knows that's text, it knows that's a number, and it knows that's a number. Right, there's stuff down here where you tell it about the data, so I'm just going to call this T for now, just to save a little bit of time. And you put in other stuff here as well. If you got the data from public source, you put the website in here, and various tags you might want to put in, and also a description. That's quite important. Remember, anything you upload will be visible to everyone on the internet. Many of the data we deal with, especially data associated with people, is of course confidential, but we wouldn't normally publish information about individuals in a graph anyway. Okay, so I'm going to create that data set. Now it's created it for me. We can edit it, we can delete it. In this case, what we want to do is create a visualization. So we click on that button, and there's a number of things here. It's got a number of types, some of which are a bit strange. We'll come back to perhaps in another video. So I'm just going to go for one of the basic ones, a bar chart. And it's immediately created it for us. Didn't take very long. So again, it's got the number of compounds up here, a bit hard to see. Flavonols, flavonoids, hydroxybenzoic acid, hydroxycinnamic acid. For at the moment, green tea. We can flip between them and get the information for black tea. That's quite a good way of flipping through the information. There's always a button up here which allows you to flip the data. In this case, it won't be very useful. It's just going to produce a couple of big blocks. So flavonols, flavonols, hydroxybenzoic acids, hydroxycinnamic acids. It's probably better in the other one. Right, now if you want to save that, you'll give it a title, some tags if necessary, and also a description. And I'm not going on. I'm going to go back to the previous one we were earlier on and have a look at a bubble chart. Anyone who's started to do bubble charts in Excel will know that they are strange and arcane, and this is a really easy way of doing bubble charts, and I think it's quite an effective way for this sort of thing. So again, what we've got here is green tea. To flip it over to black tea, you need to have a little look down here. Flip it over to black tea, and it's moved it to black tea. Again, you could do the thing where you flip it. In this case, you'll be comparing flavonols, in this case, between green and black, which is actually quite useful. You can certainly talk about this. And you can say, oh look, in black tea there's a lot more in this case of flavonols. Similarly, hydroxybenzoic acids, hydroxycinnamic acids. That's hydroxybenzoic acid, where there's a little bit more in black tea. So I quite like that data visualization, so I'm going to unflip that. I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it as T bubble. Okay, I'm going to add a couple of tags T, call it separate by space, polyphenols. Okay, publish that. Has a little chunk to do itself. And when we go back again to my stuff now, we will see we've added the data set over here and also the data visualization. Okay, so that's the basic introduction of it. So the thing to do is have a play. So I think there's a lot of potential with it for this. It probably needs to be made into possibly a more commercial approach for it to become widely used. But I think it's a really great way of producing dynamic data which you can use in things like presentations. Okay, so there we go.